Yo, 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 welcome back to the podcast from Spooky Sports. I'm your host, Ben Dover. Um, let's just jump right in. I personally think that I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I think everything that is happening in Spooky Sports, mainly Spooky Wrestling, is just utterly insane. I have never seen so much happening in the wrestling world that is happening right now. Let's start from the beginning with the commissioner and Spookleton Buttsworth getting into a massive brawl. It's it's really upsetting seeing how things are planning out right now. I can't tell if things are at an all time low or if all I know is ratings are through the roof. And it's good. It's good for the ratings, don't get me wrong, but you know, we have to think about the families involved. We have to think about Earthquake's family. Earthquake died, and the murder is still unsolved. We don't know who, but it is very hard to put a pinpoint on what could really happen because we don't know. Something could happen like right after this. Spookleton Buttsworth was asked about Earthquake's death, and he attacked a reporter. So is he held responsible for this? We don't know. We really don't know, and that's just something that I think is really concerning. I think it's concerning for the spooky wrestling community. I I'm concerned. I think everyone else should be concerned with what's going on. It's really upsetting. It's really upsetting. And we had the news broadcasting everything, and I'm talking about it on my podcast. I have over 5 million subscribers, and that listen to things like this, that listen to what's going on, and the sad part is the argument wasn't aired. The thing that happened, the problem is the fight wasn't aired between the commissioner and Spookleton Buttsworth. It wasn't aired. We only have photos, we only have reports. Obviously this is something that should be taken seriously, but it just makes you think, what's the next step for spooky wrestling? you know if you want my personal opinion, I think the commissioner should stay where he is. I think that whole entire situation just got blown way out of proportion. We had too many things being thrown out. And not even to mention, I think this whole thing was too much for Spooky Pineapple. He overdosed at it in his home. And that's not something that should be happening in spooky wrestling, especially considering how serious this matter is. And I said it before and I'll say it again. We don't know what's going to happen next. So many things are falling apart. Not even falling apart, but just so many things are happening that we don't see coming. We see, for example, Spooky Pineapple, one of the oldest wrestlers of all time, older than Spookleton Buttsworth, in his late 80s, wrestling a new and upcoming star in Earthquake, overdoses in his home right after the match. Earthquake loses to a freshly unretired Spookleton Buttsworth and loses. Flees the scene after losing the match and dies. When is enough going to be enough in spooky wrestling? There's just so much going on, and quite frankly, us as fans, we don't know what to do. We don't know whose side to take here. We don't know what to believe. Is Spookleton Buttsworth innocent? Is Earthquake responsible for his own death? Is someone else that's not even in the picture responsible? Is Earthquake actually dead? That's a question we're all asking ourselves. The news was on the scene of the crime, but you can't always trust the news. Hell, some of you guys can't even trust me, probably. What do I know, right? I'm just a dude with a podcast. I'm just a dude with a podcast. It's hard to believe the truth nowadays than it is to believe the lies. Because it's easy to believe lies, but it's hard to believe the truth. I think the problem is in spooky wrestling, we want everything to be dramatized. We can't have a simple answer. I mean, people thought for the longest time that Spooky Pineapple was drugged by someone else. When there's literally video proof of him overdosing himself. He did that to himself. Now what I'm saying? Am I saying what he did was okay? No, it sucks. We lost a great legend. We lost Spooky Pineapple. We lost one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. 16-time Spooky Wrestling Champion. It's hard to see him go. It is very hard. I'm not happy about it. I'm upset. I think that going forward, they need to take some serious measures to Earthquake's death. Problem is, his death hasn't been confirmed. It's been confirmed by the news. You can't always trust the news. So we don't know. We don't know what's going on. There's so much happening in the spooky sports world, in the spooky wrestling world right now. Hell, even, for example, they changed it from spooky sports back to spooky wrestling. What's next? It's going to turn to spooky swimming? What's going to happen? What's next? There's so much happening that we don't know what to do. Us as fans, it's not that we're outraged, we're just confused and we're lacking information from spooky wrestling. I'm not mad, I'm not upset, I'm just disappointed. Us as fans, we need the information. There's just so much going on. There's so much going on, and quite frankly, we don't know what to do. We don't know what to do at all. So I'm gonna take it away and give it to my partner Al. Yo yo yo, it's Al Baloney. It is Al Baloney. So what Ben was saying is there's a lot going on that is uncovered, and he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. There's so much happening in the spooky wrestling world right now, but he's more of a blowing things out of proportion. So I'm here to give you guys the facts. Spooky Pineapple is dead. There's nothing you guys can say about it. He is dead. And I think the problem is there's fans out there, and there's also the media that refuses to take his death seriously. They just like, oh yeah, he's dead, no big deal. This is Spooky Pineapple we're talking about. 16-time world champion in spooky wrestling. That's not something you can just do. Now, am I saying he's better than Spookleton Buttsworth? Absolutely not. Am I saying he was a better wrestler? No. Absolutely not. But him as a person, greatest wrestler of all time. Him coming out of retirement because Earthquake decided to call him out. Because Earthquake decided to say, I can beat anyone. I can beat anyone. Goes after the retired. Was he really a good wrestler? Or was he just picking on the retired? I'll tell you what. He was picking on the retired because he messed with the wrong person. He messed with Spookleton Buttsworth, and he lost. And he lost. There's nothing we can really do. Us as fans, we just gotta wait for what's next. Alright. That's it for today. I hope you guys like the podcast. Like and subscribe. Yeah, until next time.